All right, 30 videos in 30 days starts now. So I know I've been in the middle of 30 videos in 30 days, and then yesterday, everything got derailed. And here's what happened. We had our Northwest Submission Challenge yesterday, which is a Saturday. We started at 8 a.m. and we went until about 9 or 10 p.m. Set up, organizing, all that good stuff. And in the middle of all that, I shot the video for my 30 videos in 30 days, no edits, no stops, no do-overs, just hit record and then post, share. And I hit post and then I closed my phone and went to work, getting stuff done. And then last night, I didn't even check it. I just got home, got everything set for today, and just that was it. That was the end of my day. Debriefed real quick, wrote things out, about the event, what needs to be done better, that kind of stuff. And then got on with the day, or got on with the night, right? Which is going to bed at that point. Got up this morning, checked things, went to my YouTube to get ready to do another one, and saw that it never posted because I closed the app. And that's the only explanation anybody has given me, is that you close the app before it loaded and it probably disappeared into the ether somewhere. Also somewhere in there, just because of the day and how things have been going, my phone died. So there you have it. So as with anything, when we fall down, we get up. I missed a post, so day one starts today. And here we are. It's like a meal, it's like a diet. You eat a bad meal or you get off track, you don't beat yourself up about it. Your very next meal, you get back on track. It's sobriety. You fall off the wagon, you don't stay off. You get it back together, you get yourself together, you assess, you debrief, like, how did I fall off? What did I do? What triggers, whatever it was that caused me to fall, and now let me get back at it. Let me get back in it and get back to work. And it's the same with this. Miss a workout, your very next day, your very next moment, your very next opportunity, you get back on track. Same. Messed up, fell off for a day due to my lack of knowledge regarding how this works and how YouTube works. It doesn't just magically upload without, you got to leave the app open, long story short. So here we are, found it, figured it out, getting after it. So a couple things, man. I've been thinking a lot about mindset and how I talk about that a lot, how I stress that a lot. It's super important to me. And why? I do a lot of, in the morning, I get up early and I like to it's quiet, nobody's around, nobody in my neighborhood is awake, at least not to my knowledge. I don't hear anybody stirring. When I go out for my run, there's no lights on, all the houses are dark, and I kind of like that. It's just that solitude, that feeling of just being alone. And so, when I wake up and I think and I reflect and I write, and a consistent thing I've written about and thought about for decades now is mindset and the role that plays in helping people be better prepared. Because my goal is not to just prepare myself. It's how do I convey the message to others in a way that helps them be prepared. I feel like I'm prepared. I have been tested. I have had opportunities to see how I would do in a situation where someone or something is trying to kill me, whether it's Mother Nature, my own body, my own brain trying to shut me off, through an aneurysm in 2014, to another person trying to take my life on a couple occasions. So how do I convey what I know to be important to others, to people who come to me for training? And it's something I think about a lot, and think about why. Like, why do I focus on that? Why do I hone in on that? And I really think it's because in every situation where I've almost died, there has been a point in time. There has been a moment, or maybe several moments, where I wanted to quit, where I wanted to just phone it in, let it go. Just stop trying. The urge to just lay down and just hope it's over with was so strong and so hard to fight back against. And I've talked to other people who've gone through similar situations, and they all have relayed the same thing. There is a moment where you make a decision to keep going, and fortunately, obviously, for myself and the people I've had those conversations with, we chose to keep going and not see what happens if we chose or. So it's an interesting thought, and it's what drives me and why I hammer on mindset so much, why I drive it home so hard on everyone I talk to, my students, whether it's jiu-jitsu, people that are coming to me for a transformation, people that are coming to me for just to get ready for an event, whatever it is, I start with mindset first. That is the building block. And once that's in place, everything else is easy. It really is. And yeah, it's just, there's a reason that the guys that I work with that have coached me, and some of them I am privileged now to coach alongside, have stressed that always, mindset first. So let's look at a couple things, right? Let's talk about it. So hopefully you guys can see this. Because of the nature of these videos, I'm not going to be able to go back and edit and make sure you can see, or go back and reshoot and make sure you can see it. So that's also the challenge, part of the learning curve here. So mindset first. So what's the number one thing that I always want to have in place? The number one thing to develop your mindset, you have to understand why, right? So why do I want to live? That's first. In every officer survival school I went to, even like a climbing school I went to, a rappelling school, like how to rappel. I learned rescue ropes. I'm not versed in that. It's been a long time. Again, if you haven't done it in the last 5 years, is it really relevant? So I haven't done any of that stuff in a long time. But one of the things that I remember from the rescue ropes course and the climbing course was you have to decide why you want to live, because there will be a time, and possibly, any time in here, it could possibly, based on what we're doing, it could possibly be your next scheduled work, your next scheduled shift, where you are going to have to decide, I want to live. Where you're going to have to decide, no matter what, I'm going to survive this. I'm getting through this alive. And what helps is to know why. And then you make a list. So the exercise they would have us do is make a list of all the reasons. So you would list out all the reasons why you need to live, why you want to live more than anything, right? List all those reasons, just dot them out, just draw them out. And then you take that list and you put it on your mirror in the bathroom, or for me, I hung it on my locker. So I would go into work to get dressed up, for my shift, and right there on my locker was my list. Those were the things that no matter what, I'm going to live. I'm going to survive anything that comes at me, whether it's a car accident, traffic crash. a fall, being attacked, doesn't matter. A health thing, a natural disaster, doesn't matter. Whatever comes at me, whatever happens, I'm going to survive this. I'm going to get through this. And so my mind was always on the why. This part right here. How? That's easy. How to survive it is easy once you have the why. And then what do I do to develop that indomitable will? Now I know why I need this indomitable will. I know why I want to live, why I'm going to live. But then I had to develop the how. I had to develop the pieces, put the pieces in place. For me, the mindset piece was always to try to go one more, to try to do one more. It was always a mindset game. It still is to this day for me. Going out for a run isn't just going for a run. It's always, you have to get to that stop sign. You have to get to that rock. You have to get to the top of that hill in X amount of time with this sense of urgency, because, and I would create games in my head. If I don't get there, this is going to happen. This bad thing is going to happen. And I know this is dark, but this bad thing is going to happen to someone I care about. There is something bad that's going to happen, and I have to do this. And I would create these games in my head, these scenarios that forced me to go beyond what I thought I was capable of. So I was constantly creating in situations that caused me to go beyond my current capabilities. So it's one of those things where I could run 10 200-meter sprints or 10 400-meter sprints. That's 10 quarter miles. I could do 10 of those back to back, but can I do 11? Can I do 12? Well, what would make me do 15 when 10 is hard? Well, this bad thing's going to happen if you don't do 5 more of these. And that might sound a little deranged to some people. That might sound a little out there to some. I'll give you that. That's cool. However, that's how I developed my mindset. That's how I developed that I'm not going to quit. I'm not going to lay down here and accept this. I'm not going to choose or. I'm going to choose to live. And one cool example was when my aneurysm happened, the neurologists, the doctors, ER docs, everybody, they all were telling me the same thing. You should have died. 90% of the people, greater than 90% of the people who have an aneurysm in the manner that you had it, meaning it occurred on the left side of your head, it shut off the right side of your body, those people get X'd out. The reason you survived is, in their opinion, was I came in very fit, very strong, which was a result of this stuff that I just talked about, but also mentally, I never accepted that this is going to happen. When we laughed about it later, my neurologist laughed, we laughed about it later when they met with me in the critical care unit and they told me, listen, you're probably never going to work again. You're going to have a hard time walking, talking. We are hoping you'll get vision back in your left eye. They had this whole list of things that best case scenario, this is what's going to happen. And my neurologist at the time said, I could tell by the look on your face that inside you were saying, fuck you. And I was. Because there was no way I was accepting the limitations that they were telling me. I was not accepting any of it. I wasn't having it. As a matter of fact, I was a fall risk. Meaning, you can't even go to the bathroom by yourself. Yeah. In order to go to the bathroom, to get out of the bed, a sensor would go off, and they would know I'm moving, getting out of the bed, And the nurse is right there. That's one of the cool things about critical care is you have somebody looking through the window pretty much the whole time, just watching you, watching your monitors and doing their work, you know. And so to go to the bathroom, you get out of bed and there's somebody standing there. Hey, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm going to the bathroom. I have to go with you. Yeah, fun. But even though I was a fall risk, I would get out of bed, grab my IV poles, there was 2 of them, and I would push those things down the hall and I would walk over and over again every day. They nicknamed me Marathon Man because every time they looked up, I was walking the loop of that ward, of the critical care unit. And so they all agreed that my mind and my body were so strong going into this that there was no way I wasn't going to come out of it okay. Now, their version of okay and my version of okay were 2 different things, but I'm happy to tell you that I realized my version. Like, I made it happen. I brought it to fruition. I returned to my previous state physically, mentally, and maybe a little better. So, find ways to push myself beyond my current capabilities. Did that over and over and over again every single day. And then third, I would say the third thing that, and also, so seeing why every day on my locker or on my mirror, seeing my why constantly. Also in my journal, forgot about that. In my journal, this page, so when you open your journal, you know, it's a notebook, right? You open your journal, my left page, like the back of the cover, I would tape that on there or glue that on there, my why. I would write it all out again, stick it right there. Why? So every time I open this bad boy, I'm reminded why. Why am I reading every day? Why am I spending time in reflection every day? Why am I writing every day? Why am I doing the lifting weights and running and rolling and boxing and dry firing and practicing putting tourniquets on myself? And why am I playing out what ifs and running scenarios in my head? And why am I doing all these things? Well, here it is. Why? I'm making myself hard to kill. I'm making myself more capable. I'm making myself an asset to my people. If a natural disaster strikes right now, I have the ability to pick people up and move them to safety. I have the ability to move debris off of people, including myself. I have all these capabilities, all these things that I have made happen. And it all comes from why, right? So, why do I want to live? All the reasons. Push myself beyond current capabilities and beyond. And so that's a never-ending fight right there, a never-ending struggle, striving to, because as your capabilities come greater, it's harder to push beyond, but you have to. And then the third thing is putting myself in situations intentionally. So putting myself in places where I'm going to be tested, where I have an opportunity to be assessed. Putting myself in situations where I am assessed by people other than myself, where I am tested. That could be a competition, jiu-jitsu, MMA. I fought MMA. I competed in jiu-jitsu. I competed in boxing, Muay Thai, kickboxing, judo, wrestling since forever, ultra runs. I've done ultras, I've done halves, marathons, I've done 5Ks, 10Ks, everything in between, adventure races, you name it. I've done it in an attempt to put myself in situations where someone else creates a seemingly insurmountable task or test, and I passed it. Kind of like, think about the labors of Hercules, like all these tests to prove that I'm worthy, but I'm not proven to them, I'm proven to me, reaffirming that why I'm doing all this, you know, that I'm pushing myself beyond my current capabilities, and I have what it takes to be who I need to be for the people that are going to depend upon me, starting with myself and then everyone around me, my people. So that's a little bit on it. We'll go deeper into this, but again, 30 for 30, 30 videos in 30 days. Turn it on, no edits, no restarts, no any of that, no do-overs. It's just raw and it's real, it's authentic. And just off the top of my head, these are the things that I think about when I'm thinking about mindset and how to develop it, how I did it for myself, and then how do I help others do it. And these are the things that I encourage people to do. Hope you guys got something out of this. Man, forgive me for missing yesterday. Man, I got to get better at technology. That's all there is to it. All right, man, I'll see you guys on the next one.